Yeah, hi everyone. I realized that I missed a few things, and I talked about at the beginning that I was going to give you an example of something from a Jung interview, and I'll wait for that till the end. Um, but I didn't do that either, so I'm making a second video just to add the extra terms that I missed. So yeah, another thing is I said Julia was lead SI. She's not lead SI. She's savior SI. OP. I didn't talk about what savior means. So OP doesn't specify lead, second function, third function, fourth functions. They just say savior one, savior two, and they call the other two demons. So savior one is your lead function, your dominant function. Savior two is your auxiliary function. They call them saviors, and there are reasons for doing that. Generally, your saviors, if you want to get balanced, this is personal help advice, take it or leave it. You want to stop doing your saviors. It's what your default going to go and do when you run into a problem. And usually that's what got you into the problem. So you need to stop using your saviors and start using your demons so that you can stop getting into problems. Okay. So the solution that you first think of is going to be using those saviors to get yourself out of the problem that the saviors caused. Sometimes that's what you need to do. Sometimes it's already too late. Just use what you're good at, get out of the problem, and next time use your demons, don't get into the problem. Just a side note. So I realized we didn't talk about what play, consume, sleep, blast are. We didn't talk about them at all. So I'm just going to generally say consume is when you're taking in information, when you're learning, when you're reading, when you're listening to podcasts, all that kind of stuff, all that kind of good stuff. Play is going to be also learning, a way of learning. It's going to be pinging off of the tribe. It's going to be pinging off of your environment, testing things out, seeing how things work in your environment. It's going to be learning from other people, talking to them, asking questions. So you'll see a lot of play from me in my interviews. I'm going to be asking questions and learning from the tribe. That's really the purpose of my interviews, is so that I can go out and practice my play. Back when I thought I was lead sleep, which I still could be, not ruling that out. But yeah, I wanted to also practice my FE, so that's what I was doing with my play. It's general, it's a lot deeper than that. I'm just a disclaimer here. Blast is going to be using this known information and bringing the known information out to the tribe. So what does that mean? It means teaching, okay? It means getting things started, starting projects, randomly trying stuff out, right? A little bit of what I said play is just testing the environment, pinging, doing back and forth with the outside world. So blast is going to be not the pinging part, but trying things and seeing how they work. And what's interesting is blast and consume together is going to give you play, right? Because play is listening to the tribe, and blast is giving out to the tribe. So you can use them to simulate play. You can also use them to simulate sleep, because sleep is going to be reflecting on your known information, and partly sleep blast together is partly going to be planning the future, and it's going to be refining things. It's going to be introspecting. It's going to be also conserving energy. It's going to be consciously saying, I need to rest, is going to be sleep. And sleep is also consume and blast in the way that you're introspecting, because when you're introspecting, what can you do? You could speak. If you don't have sleep and you want to get it, you can be speaking out like what I'm doing now, and then listening back to it. So you can be journaling, you can be making YouTube videos and going back and watching them, right? And that's going to be simulating sleep, okay? And similarly, play and sleep together could simulate consume or blast. We can talk about that. I don't have the loaded information, but I'll maybe mention that during an interview at some point, or it'll come out at some point in an interview. Other thing, activated, double activated. This is language you're going to hear in the interviews. All that means is your animals have an order. There's 3 major animals, and then a final animal. So basically, your double activated animal is going to be opposite to your final animal. So if your play last, your double activated animal is going to be sleep. That just means that these two functions are going to be used by two animals, okay? So this one's going to be used by these two animals. This one's only going to be used by one animal because you're going to be play last in this example. And so it's going to be called single activated, okay? And so this is, whatever your last one is, the opposite one is your double activated animal. And that's the way that works. Then last, I promised you that that cool idea, and again, it came out when I was talking to Julia after the interview. It's a really cool interview. Jung spoke about how he predicted the Nazi uprising in Germany. Now, he spoke about how everyone thought he was a prophet for doing this, and he was coming out and he was saying, "I'm not a prophet, guys. How did I do it? I'm going to tell you how I did it. All I did was I listened to my German patients, and my German patients in their dreams, in their unconscious, they were giving me these patterns they were seeing, and they were predicting the German uprising." Now, how does that work? So the idea is that the extroverted function is going to be on the spectrum. It's going to be on this bell curve. You're going to be able to see the entire spectrum, the entire objective spectrum of concepts, NE, and you're going to be able to see what the center, the most applicable concept is, and zero in on it and use it, okay? So, and same thing with TE, it's going to see all these different thoughts, and it's going to find the most applicable thought, the most thought, what everyone is thinking, what the tribe is thinking, and it's going to go for that one. It's going to be like, everyone's on this, let's just get on board and let's just get it done, right? That's TE. Let's just get it done. Everyone is thinking this. I don't care if it's the least efficient. Most people want to do it. Let's just do it and we'll get it done, right? And the TI might be like, oh, well, but wait about this. This is the most efficient. Shut up. Don't listen to the TI. Everyone wants to do this. You go do your own thing, right? Let's get it done. So it's the idea of seeing the spectrum, okay? Now, what NI was doing in his patients was they were being subjective. Each one of them was seeing something completely different, and they were being universal. They were seeing a long-term pattern, a pattern that's applicable for all time. Doesn't matter when you need it, it's there, you have it, you can use it, right? So what they were doing is they were piecing together what was going to happen in Germany, all of these German patients. Now, a lot of them were wrong, okay? But all of his NI patients, they were piecing this together, and he was giving them therapy and pulling out from their unconscious what they pieced together, what they were seeing the future was. Now, what was he doing? He was taking all of these patients and putting them on an NE spectrum. He was putting them on a spectrum and saying, hey, here's the center. This is what all of my patients are saying. All of my patients, like some of them aren't talking about Nazi uprising, some of them is talking about this and this and this. But in the middle, the bell curve is saying there's going to be a Nazi uprising. I'm going to come out and predict it. So what he was doing is he was using a bunch of NIs all together to simulate an NE and come to a decision, right? And so this little story can really give you an idea of how introverted and extroverted can kind of work. Anyway, I'm done. I think I covered everything now. Have a good one. Like, subscribe, and check out the interviews. Right. Bye.